We're driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Leveraging over 140 million qualifications and preferences every day, Indeed's matching engine is constantly learning from your preferences, so the more you use Indeed, the better it gets. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Just go to Indeed.com/Blue Wire right now and support our show by saying that you heard about Indeed on this podcast. That's Indeed.com/Blue Wire. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Listening on Audible helps your imagination soar. Whether you listen to stories, motivation, any genre you love, you can be inspired to imagine new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of thinking. Maybe you'll find inspiration in the incredible true story of Black female mathematicians at NASA in Hidden Figures, or the fantasy world of Throne of Glass. There's more to imagine when you listen. As an Audible member, you get to choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500. That's audible.com/imagine or text imagine to 500-500.
Welcome, everybody, to the SICKO's Committee podcast. I am not Jordan, as you might expect if you are a regular listener to this show. Jordan is out on the DL tonight. He is not feeling well, so send good vibes to Jordan. But I am Pitt Girl, and alongside me, I have, as usual, Commissioner Escalante, Beth, Arthur on the ones and twos, and we have a special guest.
Hooray, guest.
Miller from Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Hello.
Welcome, Miller. How you doing?
I've been longtime DMer of the Twitter account, first time podcaster, I guess. It's very weird to see your faces after we've interacted for 2-3 years via Twitter or whatever it is. And now it's like, this is in real life. And this is, I guess, I like it. We're going to lean into it.
Absolutely.
This is what we look like.
This is what we look like, but no, you don't.
Leave that to your imagination.
Typically, we just have
you and I
animated.
actually did meet during the Mayo Bowl,
but
you were a little busy.
Yeah, I definitely recognize you. I was going to ask, but I didn't want to do like the awkward, like, have we met? And then it's like a hard no, and it's like, yeah, I didn't want to veer into that. I was just going to ignore it. But I'm glad you crossed the bridge, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
That'd be really awkward. Like, hey, we're doing a podcast together. Have we met before? I can't imagine that.
Just dead air.
I've only met one person on the podcast, like in real life, in person.
I haven't met any of you in real life in person.
Yep, we're all going to
Jordan's
be at the
not here.
backyard brawl, and it's going to be a thing.
Yeah, it is going to be a thing.
Oh, wow. I hold the podcast lead by having known two of you in person, having met two of you in person.
It's Miller counts I've met two people, so we're tied right now.
Count it.
Okay.
They'll do it. There's a tie here. We love ties.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Commish, how are you?
I'm great. This has been a wild weekend. We actually got rain in San Antonio for once, which is quite interesting. I'm also scheduled to go to the Southland Conference Media Days tomorrow, which is in downtown San Antonio.
Hell yeah.
Which that's on Monday. So when this comes out on Tuesday, that'll be in the past because Pitt Girl said the line again.
Linear time was a mistake.
There we go. So really, I'm excited for this. We also have Bridget, Big Sky Bridget. I got to get that correct. BSB, Big Sky Bridget. She is up in Spokane at the Big Sky Media Days. So I've been texting with Bridget along with the Big Sky Conference, Tyson up there, like coordinating them to meet each other while I'm in like San Antonio. Like, hey, this is her here. You have each other's number. Go. So this is like becoming a part of like, I don't want to say like legit media because we still have no idea what we're doing. We're just like here and just having a good time. So I'm
our
excited.
parents weren't married. We're completely illegitimate.
So.
Beth, how are you?
I'm on day. Hang on, let me check my calendar. This is day 18 of Aunt Beth of six small children.
Wait, you had like 2 days of pause in there, right?
I did.
Okay.
So like we paused somewhere in there. I took them to an amusement park today. All of them.
To the pasta sauce amusement
Yes,
park.
the pasta
you have to
sauce
explain this for the non-Pennsylvanian listeners.
The what?
Do you guys have Del Grosso pasta sauce where you are? Like the tomato sauce and tomato-based products? No, not a thing. From what I understand, they're like a fancy brand. Places that are not here. They're like the local store brand from Tipton where I am. So, and they have an amusement park. It's an old trolley park that they have refurbished, and it's very nice. And I managed to keep 6 children from drowning today, and that feels like an achievement. And then I came back and they all got baths and they didn't drown that time either. So at least right now, as of 10:17 Eastern, no one is dead.
Beth, stay winning.
Way to go, Beth.
Arthur, how are you? I hear that you are in a location that you are not usually in.
Yeah, I'm on the road, which is why if my audio is worse than normal, that's why. But I'm out here in the Great Pacific Northwest. I'm drinking a cider from Corvallis, Oregon, actually. Here's how you know it's the Pacific Northwest. This isn't an apple cider. This is a Cosmic Crisp cider. They're very proud of that variety of apple up here. But I had an interesting kind of travel thing happen where I flew into Portland. I got to the airport to the rental car place, and they were like, okay, like we have your reservation, but like we don't have the car that like matches the class that you reserved. So it turns out like I booked it through some other website in advance, and they were like, okay, so well, what we could do is we could have you rent like a less nice car than what you reserved, but like since you booked through a third party, like we can't do that because like we can't like change your rate or whatever. So literally like they're going through like all the cars that have just been returned looking like, do we have anything that's like nice enough for us to rent to you? Because they're like, we can't give you anything that's like less nice than what you reserved. So it took them like half an hour to find something. They were like, finally, like a car nice enough for you to drive.
What do you have?
I have an Audi A6.
Hell yes!
What type of rental class did you get, Arthur?
Luxury car.
Okay.
What were you supposed to get?
No, that was the class I'd reserved. So basically, my strategy is that I read it too many times where I just got annoyed with like not having like the usual things I have in my car at home, which like it's a Honda Civic, like it's not like super fancy or anything, but it does have like the blind spot, the cruise control that like senses how close you are to the car in front. So I figured out that like if I just book like the nicer class of car from the rental car place, like they'll like usually the car will at least have those bells and whistles. And in addition, it has a bunch of stuff I don't know how to use, but it does have like the cruise control that follows the car in front of you in the blind spot. So I'm good.
As the guest on this podcast, I'm getting to know all of you, and I learned a lot about Arthur there. I feel like Arthur is not. If I go anywhere, that's the guy I'm going with. Like,
yeah.
My thing is like I'm getting the cheapest possible thing with as little insurance as possible, and all I want is like a gearbox and engine and possibly doors that work. Like Arthur's out here drinking like the best cider, getting the best cars. That's the lifestyle I need.
So you are misled a little bit by this. As someone who has known Arthur for a very long time and has been at tailgates where he shows up with Mad Dog.
This is Vacation Arthur. Vacation Arthur is different.
It's like an aspirational Arthur.
Exactly.
Like you're trying to be your best Arthur. To be clear, if I rented a car where all 4 doors worked, that would be an upgrade over my present 14-year-old car.
Respect for Beth car, though.
Yeah. She's still trucking along, kind of.
Am I the only person on the podcast that hates the cruise control that follows the car in front of you?
It's annoying.
It gets you up to the car and then it stomps on the brake, and I hate it.
The adaptive cruise
There's
control
a company
is
vehicle at my work that has it, and I never ever use it because I despise it.
I don't like it. It was weird. Like my wife's car has it. It's like the adaptive cruise control. I don't like it because it's just like, just set me at the speed. I know when I gotta get over or whatever. I don't need you to like stomp on the brakes like a mile and a half ahead of time, like to do that. It's just way too.
See,
like, hey,
this
Audi
A6 that I'm renting is super smooth with it. Like it'll like slow you down slowly, like really easy into like we're gonna go a few miles an hour slower now because there's a car in front. I mean, it's a great car. Like everyone should go out and buy one.
Sure, if we can afford it. Yes, Mr. Honda Civic driving, Audi A6 renting. Arthur,
listeners, please subscribe to the Substack
and the Patreon and
Patreon
to help us rent an Audi A6. I guess when we go to the backyard brawl. Or maybe when we go to
tailgating under an overpass in an Audi A6.
Oh my God.
Love it. Beautiful. We could do that. We could drive. I'll drive from San Antonio to Charlotte for the Mayo Bowl.
There you go.
You know, in the A6. We'll do that. I don't even know how long we drive and what I just committed myself to. But if we get enough patrons, I can rent an A6. I may have to do this as long as my wife lets me. So
the Mayo Bowl is a delight, by the way. So you should.
I've wanted to go. I just cannot make it happen, and I'm upset because I have family, and I'm like, I want to go to the Mayo Bowl. But you know, if I could do this for a real life job, you know, I will be free to attend as many Mayo Bowls as possible. So, all right. So since we're doing this show kind of backwards here, because we're down Jordan and we got Miller on East Coast time, and you know, along with Pitt Girl and Beth and Arthur's Pacific time. What is this, like 6:30 for you? Close to it?
No, it's like 7:30.
Oh, it's 7:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're so good at time zones.
Not really.
It's confusing to me
too.
too. Like
I did too.
I'm
I went
gonna spend this whole week just trying to do math because it's just like because all the sports is still listed as East Coast time, and so I have to do the math like every time I see like a sports thing. Like, oh,
how
when's
many
that
of
happening?
you listened to this week's Fullcast?
I
Dateline?
have.
Right, because I feel
Yeah.
like we're accidentally doing the Fullcast.
Yes, we are. Oh god.
I mean, I've had that conversation over a 1 hour time zone difference because, like, one time when I was in college at the college radio station, I got like a message from someone like, "Hey, can you do this at 4:30?" I forget the exact time, but it was like, "Hey, can you do this at like 4 or something?" And I looked and I was like, "Well, okay, but it's 4:30 now," and like, cause like he was out of town, like in Chicago, and it was like an hour off, and I was like, "Well, that was half an hour ago, but I mean, I can see if it got done."
Is this who I think it was?
Yes.
Listeners, Arthur and I both worked for the college radio station at Pitt at the same time.
Okay. Inside Pitt humor on the podcast. Love it.
Indeed. This is for like 5 people.
All right. So we're going to start the preview selection forecast here early. So the Super SICKO Spinning Selection season preview forecast, the SSSSSPF, aka the 5 SPF. We've got 99 questions, but a preview ain't one. Basically, what we did was we had our patrons submit about 99 questions they want us to ask for each team that we preview. And we spin this giant super spinning wheel, and we try to preview each team by answering this question, their random question, and that question only. So we're going to start off with the Southern Conference, aka the SoCon, which I think many, many people have been in the SoCon before. And I'm going to go over the previous year's standings, and then we're going to go work with the preview. And hopefully I can share the screen correctly so we can all see the questions that we get in this situation.
Can you go last to first? That's all I want out of this. As you go through it, can you go last to first? Just to make me feel good.
You want to go from the bottom to the top. Okay.
If you're just reviewing this, I just want to hear who was the best team. It'd make me feel good if we went last and just mention a certain college.
That's very fair.
That's right.
And Miller, since your company, if you want to say something extra that is outside of the scope of the question, you are welcome to. Mm-hmm. And if it is spiteful, so much the better.
That's probably it's going to be. And there might be a story about Western Carolina in 2005 and Ingle Martin that I'm still bitter about.
Okay.
We are extremely here for that. I will also say that while Commish works on getting the screen share up, we invited you on for the SoCon preview for a reason. Would you like to tell the listeners why that is?
I went to Furman University for undergrad. I was not very diehard, but I'm very diehard about making fun of other Southern Conference universities. And I wish we could have done this about 10 years ago so my real spite could have come out, because the school I dislike the most it was because of 2005, the semifinals, Appalachian State, spiritually SoCon. I just wish there was time to. Everyone views them as the darling of college football. When they beat Michigan, that was one of the worst days of my life. I still am very bitter about that because I'm from Gastonia, and Gastonia, North Carolina, and half the people went to App, and I had to hear about the three-peat and all that stuff. So we won't mention that too much more. Overrated football team. That's all I'm saying. Personally, not professionally. Let me be very clear. Everything I'm saying on this podcast is I'm on vacation. It's not professional.
It's on vacation. It doesn't count. Whatever is said on the SICKO Committee podcast does not count professionally.
We're looking forward to having App State playing the Dukes Mayo Classic next year. They're going to be a great team. We're really excited about the fans. Yeah.
You've had a good run of Mountaineers lately, so,
We have.
That's right. Okay. So we're going to go from the bottom to the top at Miller's request here. So the bottom of the SoCon in conference 0-8 and 0-11 overall, the Citadel. Then right above them, 2-6 in conference, 2-9 overall, the Wofford Terriers. I was waiting for you're gonna save it though.
I also dislike Wofford a lot. They're too similar. But
this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I was waiting. He mentioned that in the DM, so I'm like, I thought he was going to say anything. So let me check it out. All right.
Keep going.
Slightly.
This is a safe space for being hating ass.
Just hate as much as possible. Nobody takes us seriously anyway. It's great.
Certainly not us.
Definitely not. Slightly above Wofford was East Tennessee State University, 2-6 in conference, 3-8
in our hearts.
That's right. Above them, 4-4 in conference, 5-6 overall, the VMI Keydets.
Go Keydets. I'm required by law to say that. So I've now discharged my responsibilities. Uncle Richard, you can't get mad at me.
Jordan would also be very upset if we did not plug the Keydets. We have officially plugged the Keydets.
There, they're done. They're plugged.
Plug the Keydets. Also at 4-4 in conference, but 6-5 overall, the Samford Bulldogs.
Not to be confused with the tree.
It's what peas on the tree, the bulldog. So that makes sense. Sure. Western Carolina, 5-3 in conference, 7-4 overall. I'm waiting, Miller. No.
So it was 2005.
Back in 2005.
It would have been my second year of college. We crammed into the back of Arthur. You'd have loved it. It was the back of a young lady's BMW. There's 5 people packed, a little sedan. It was the worst car possible for the mountains. We drove up to Cullowhee. That was the year Ingle Martin was the quarterback of Furman. So he was at Florida. Chris Lee came in, then he went to Furman, and it was awesome. He was so good. And it was also it was such a cool thing because he also was the punter, and he was an All-American punter. So it was just like this really unique thing. But so I go in, I'm like, man, Furman's good at football. It's going to be great. Everything's going to be happy. I grew up a Clemson fan. I don't want that sadness. I'm going to be into this Furman thing. Ingle Martin threw 5 interceptions. I'd never been that miserable leaving a stadium. And then as I walk out, I just stepped into a big pile of vomit. And that was the last time I ever went to campus in Western Carolina.
Oh my God.
And it was just like one of those things where I was like 18 years old, very excited, thrilled to be there, sees this team crumble. Like, this is not what I'm hoping for. Now I have to drive back through the mountains after stepping and vomit. Yeah. That's what I think of Western. That's my experience in Western Carolina, the one time I've been there.
That is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
And it wasn't like a mystery thing you step into. Like you step in, you immediately know what it is. It wasn't like just like this could be anything. It was very clearly like tailgate spot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, nope, this is fresh out the Steve. Yeah.
Austin's like, that could be the show title.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, this is like I said. I know we always joke we don't have any rails on this podcast, but this feels especially different here. So
the rails are especially today.
Done. All right. Above Western Carolina, 6-2 in conference, 8-5 overall. UT Chattanooga, the Mocs. And then
I have nothing to say about them other than I think the most relevant they've been is when what was it, Dan Mullen did the whole UT Chattanooga thing. That was the most relevant they've been in college football.
That's right. This is some hating. SoCon hating. I
love this spike.
Oh my God, this is wonderful. Great. All right. Above them, 6-2 in conference, 9-4 overall. The Mercer Bears.
Nothing. I got nothing to say.
Nothing. No, nothing with Mercer. Okay. All right. And the number one team in the SoCon who won the conference last year and went to the FCS playoffs is at 7-1, 10-3 overall. It is your Furman Paladins.
It is my Furman Paladins.
Right.
It was fun. It's also, so we all have these group text messages with friends, right? And everyone went to and you have varying degrees of fandom in it. And there's my buddy Dan. Dan still goes to every Furman game. He lives in Spartanburg where Wofford is, but his proudest moment this year was tricking his Cub Scout group that he leads into having the Furman logo as their logo. Cause that's like, he thinks he's like, that's him going out.
I love that. That is A+ dad energy right there.
The amount of emotional roller coasters this season just via text from him were amazing. And I'll tell this story. We were looking at college football playoff in Charlotte. It was years ago. And it was like a speaking engagement, and Bill Hancock, former college football playoff director, was there. And he made a joke about a small school in South Carolina where he went to a football game and everyone was playing beach volleyball outside. And that pretty much described my Furman experience because he was describing Furman. And I went and talked to him and said, yep, that's true. But now that it's the perfect experience as a fan, because now that we've won and we should be good again this year, I can be engaged. And when they're not, I can back away and say we don't care. But I will say the worst thing that happened last year, I dislike Wofford, most of these schools. I don't hate them. It's more of just like a dislike. It's like your brother. They're very similar. They're small private schools separated by 30, 40 miles. Wofford was so bad last year. Wofford was unreal. And our executive director, my boss, is the former athletic director there. And I teased him so much about it.
Oh.
And who was Wofford's one win in the last game of the season? It was against Furman.
Oh.
The one thing I didn't need, I just needed that perfect season of Furman being good and Wofford being over, and that didn't happen. So I'm very bitter about that.
Oh my God, I feel that.
So when we had this something's got to give game, we had two at the same time. We had Indiana State versus Western Illinois. Both were 0-9 at the same time. And in the SoCon that same week, we had Wofford versus the Citadel at the same time, both 0-9. Wofford won that game, and then Wofford then won the next week, and beating basically Furman was ranked number 2.
Yeah,
in the last week of the year.
It was great.
Oh. So if
because it's not even something you can watch. It's just, once again, crazy friend Dan used crazy in a nice way here. The amount of expletives that were sent in that group text message from him.
Oh, I bet.
I'm gonna go try to find it. Actually, that'd be a good.
If you find it, go ahead. You try to find it while I try to set up the spinning wheel here with all of our questions for this preview here.
The only other question I have while Commish gets the picker wheel set up is, how does it feel to be an alumnus of a school whose mascot is a D&D class? Because I feel like there aren't that many of those.
I hadn't thought about it. I'm very proud. At the time, so it's also like Furman tries to take itself seriously in certain ways. Like they had this guy who would dress up as a knight and walk around as their mascot. So this would have been 2005, 2009 when I was there. And it was impossible to take him seriously because he smelled so bad. It was like anytime you walk through, it just smelled. And then also like the only song the band played, it felt like, was Stacy's Mom. Like you go to games and you just hear Stacy's Mom 20 times. And I literally made a joke about it, not thinking in class. And there was a band members in front of me, like turned and stared at me. He's like, the conductor arranged it. That's why we did it. Like they were the person who did this arrangement. I'm like, that's great. Can they do some more songs? I'd love to hear anything but Stacy's Mom for 4 years, 20 times a game.
You're allowed to arrange multiple songs. It is permitted. Heck, I've been allowed to do it. It doesn't just have to be the one. I love the fact that they're the paladins, though, because they're like, there are very few D&D classes where they really can be everything, and paladin's one of them. They can heal, they can tank, they can do range, they can do melee DPS. You can make a party of nothing but paladins. This has been Nerd Corner with me.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't bring out World of Warcraft, so...
Also, you guys can't see this, but these are all screenshots of my friend who's gone on ESPN Plus and screenshot bad illegal holding calls for Furman.
Oh my God.
I would like to formally welcome your friend to the committee.
He's in. For sure. He's there.
Yeah, your friend instantly a member, probably deserves membership more than I do, honestly. I have never done anything that hardcore in my life.
Okay. So I'm going to try to spin the wheel. I have the questions. I have the question wheel shared on the screen. I'm going to spin the wheel for the team first. So this is random order for the team. And then I'll go ahead and we'll see what we got for the one of 99 questions, which we may skip because we have a lot of them. The first team is going to be Samford. The Samford Bulldogs. So let me see what we got here. I have no idea how long this is set up.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, it could be. Oh, man.
Well, we are spinning.
Everybody dizzy here.
For a minute.
Okay. For Samford, is their coach fired if they go 5-7 this year? What is this history?
Probably not.
What is this history? Samford Bulldogs. That's right. We do a lot of
Googling happens.
Chris Hatcher has served as Samford's head coach since 2015.
Okay. So his 10th season. They were 6-5 last year. 11-2 in 2022. 4-7 in 2021. 2020 doesn't count. 5-7 2019. Let's see his overall record. His
overall coaching record everywhere is 172-95.
Nice. He's 57-43 at Samford. He's led them to the division, to the playoffs 3 times in his 9 years. Do you think 5-7 lets him go? I
feel like he's earned some grace.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he's safe.
5-7 isn't great, but like it's not so bad that you immediately fire a guy.
Let's also the Bulldogs have made the FCS playoffs 6 times. He's responsible for 4 of them.
Oh,
I feel like he's very safe.
He's Dave Doran. This is fine.
Yeah,
okay. Totally. Dave Doran. He didn't win that Mayo Bowl though. It's okay. He didn't win the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like Dave Doran goes to the fun bowl games and he just does not win them.
Does he refuse to have fun?
It seems that way. It does. He's like, this is not for me. I do not want to participate in the Mayo Dome. Do you have any behind the scenes story about Dave Doran at the Mayo Bowl? Like, I know he said he was not a fan of Mayo. Was he? Do you feel like he was actively avoiding the Mayo and wanted Mike Locksley to do this?
Let's start that conspiracy. Someone can clip that and
let's do that. No,
we will clip that.
Totally. I think Dave Doran falls into, in limited interactions, into we'll say a batch of coaches who I really appreciate, who know exactly who they are, what they like, and what they're willing to do. And they're like, he is on that path. Like Dave Dorn is Dave Dorn. He like for our coach's press conference, so he wore jeans and boots. Like that's what he wears. That's what he came to do, and like respect him for it. Where he's not going to try to say like, yes, let's go do the Mayo dump. He did not want to do it. No coach really wants to do it, but it was very clear he did not want to do it.
I would honestly be a little bit concerned about a head coach who was like, actually, yes, I want several gallons of mayo dumped on me.
R.I.P. Mike Leach.
We're a Big Ten. We're Big Ten ACC this year. There's a coach in the Big Ten who has a similar haircut to me.
Oh,
very aerodynamic. Who I think would be all about it.
I mean,
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
See that.
Yeah, I could.
He would definitely.
He'd have like a
keep in mind, I've run into him around town. Like I could very much see it.
Think about how mad the fans would be that they ended up in the Duke's Mayo Bowl too.
Oh, I mean, I could live off of that for a.
By the way, I'm talking about PJ Fleck. I'm gonna be very clear.
Oh, okay.
I think he is the most like embracing.
Oh no, I was about to say he's gonna row that boat in Mayo.
Oh yeah,
he will get a boat.
No, I wanted this to be James Franklin.
So did I.
Yeah. That was a lot.
I could see him being weirdly about that, but.
Oh, by the way, I found the text from my friends.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Just F word is the first text.
Okay.
Perfect.
Response: why is this happening?
A perfectly legal thing to say on this podcast.
Because I'm not allowed to have nice things. And then an effing defensive touchdown and a fluke run on 4th and 1. And then it goes to immediately rationalization. Other than listening to my shit talking, this loss has limited impact. Same side of the bracket. Probably go to Montana 1 round earlier than we would have. I like our chances. So he immediately went to rationalization.
He skipped. He skipped
like 7
denial,
layers of grief. Yeah.
Bargaining. He just went straight to acceptance. Like, whatever. Let's go.
What? I think we also like flooded the zone on him. We didn't want him to go like catatonic, so we were like, "Oh, JMU's getting hosed too." Like just changing subjects. Like,
here's a shiny thing. Look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next school we have is the hated Western Carolina. Let's see what question we have for them. Oh my God, I have to change.
We're gonna have to change the timer on that.
This is so much spin.
Sorry, we already had this question. The Scottish Highland Games. You want to do another one?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can edit.
Can you make the spin timer shorter?
Hold on.
You should be able to scroll down and see that.
Tool settings, not editable. Oh, that's good. Nothing editable. Oh, that's great.
Amazing. Okay. Spin the wheel.
Let's do it again.
Tools up at the top. I don't know.
It just says not available.
Okay. We can't have nice things.
I can just edit out like the time that you spend waiting for the spinner to spin.
We did the.
We had this one.
We did have this one too.
Why is it giving us the same one?
Well, it's because it was on Jordan's screen. Now it's on my screen. So he had all the other questions. This is not going.
I mean, with only 99 questions, like we're gonna reuse them eventually. Like there are more than 99 college football teams.
That's true, but we've only done 3 conference previews and we've had all of these questions before.
Yes, we have.
Picker wheel, I don't believe it. You are random.
No, it's like it's all set up for the same
Picker
question.
wheel is a conspiracy.
It is.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't really remember what happened in even the last episode. So, like, the picker wheel could totally get me on just repeating questions. The picker wheel honestly could do it multiple times in an episode. I might not notice.
I don't remember anything we ever say, but I remember the picker wheel questions.
Okay.
This one's a good one.
Western Carolina. How many Bulldog mascots do they play, and what will be their record against Bulldogs? So we have to pull up the schedule.
Right?
At least Samford. That's one Bulldog.
But they might have other Bulldogs.
They may.
2024 football schedule.
Yes.
Loading. At NC State versus Campbell, at Elon, at Montana.
What the? Oh, Lord.
Wofford, the Citadel, Furman, Mercer, Chattanooga, ETSU, VMI, Samford. So only the one Bulldog.
One Bulldog at Samford to end the year.
To end the year, Saturday, November 23rd at 3 p.m.
So what's their record going to be?
Against Bulldogs.
Against Bulldogs.
So they have one game. We just previewed that game. Do we think they're going to beat Samford? Yes or no?
Miller, what do you think?
I was just Googling.
You know what's funny? They're both middle of the pack of the conference last year.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
are you telling me it's a coin flip, Commish?
Which one's home? Which one's away? Just go off
Samford is home.
You don't go into Homewood and earn. You know, it's tough. Homewood's a tough place to play. Let's go Samford.
Okay. So they're going to be 0-1 against Bulldogs. Western Carolina was at home and they beat number 8 Samford last year. So Samford's going to want revenge. So yes, Samford. I got them winning. They're going to be 0-1 against the Bulldogs. Take that, Catamounts.
Miller is the expert here. I will agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I bow before a knowledge far superior to my own.
There are very few things I'm an expert in. This is certainly the least, like the lowest possible thing I could be an expert on.
Arthur, did you want to get a prediction so we can go like clear across the board, and then Western Carolina uses this as a motivation tape for them?
Oh, we can do the game day thing.
Yeah, we can do the game day.
Board.
Save us! Don't do it. Go for Western.
Oh
Arthur.
Man, this is a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. Arthur.
I think getting the bulletin board would be good for promoting the podcast. So I'm gonna have to say that they can go 0-1.
All right, we got a Samford sweep here. All right, so we're just hating on Western Carolina here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next school we have in the SoCon. It's Furman.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Furman, what is Furman's question? Let's listen to all the spins.
The only person who can hear the spins is you, Commish.
Oh, cool. That's great. Drive me crazy. No, we had that question.
We do not get to know who Furman's heaviest player is.
I can mute the spins? Oh, this is great. At least I could do that.
Is Furman's coach fired if they only win 2 games this year? Miller?
No. No, there's no way. They hang on to coaches. They had a coach forever, and then this guy's actually been Hendricks, I believe the last name, has been very successful. And I mean, took them to quarters or semis last year. So I think it would be disappointing, but he's safe.
So he's
I just need to do a shout out because we haven't in a while for this. Furman is another one of our schools that lists the phone numbers of their coaching staff.
Yes.
Oh God.
I love that.
Don't give
Never
him a call.
change Furman.
No,
Tyler from Spartanburg. There is someone else you can call.
Don't do that. They don't deserve that.
The head coach of Furman, Clay Hendricks, is 51-29. He's been the head coach at Furman since 2017. He's taken Furman to the playoffs 4 times since 2017. They won 2 SoCon championships last year and 2018. His only losing season was the year that doesn't count, which is 2020. So I think it'd be rather disappointing if they were to do that, but I think he's safe.
He has earned some grace.
I just don't know how they only win 2 games, but
while he hasn't been the head coach at Furman for that long, he was the offensive line coach at Furman from 1988 to 2000, and then was the assistant head coach and O-line coach until 2007. So, like, he knows Furman.
This man has a lot of Furman.
Speaking of Furman, would you like to hear a random Furman trivia?
Oh,
yes. Absolutely.
In 2006. A player committed and went to Furman from a popular MTV show. Can you name the player and TV show?
Oh, boy.
This is
You do not want to know how old I was in 2006. I do not have a good answer for this.
My God.
Very big news on campus when this person showed up. This is probably one of the most popular sports shows at the time.
No, man. It can't be like... So he was on MTV, and then he just went to go to Furman to play sports, or
hold on, I'm double checking to make sure.
Okay.
Yes, it was a reality show
Okay.
On MTV.
Okay.
Based in Birmingham.
Oh.
The quarterback played at Alabama, if I remember correctly. Ross Wilson was the quarterback. And I believe, Jeremy Pruitt was a coach on the team.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Do you guys remember a show
Hoover,
called
Alabama?
Yes, MTV Two-A-Days.
MTV Two-A-Days. Okay, so this is the one in Hoover, right?
And then one of the stars of the show, Max Lerner, went to Furman, which was a huge deal when I was a sophomore in college.
Furman trivia.
I was trying to decide if Jackass was a sports show.
It is. It is. It's also a cultural commentary.
As someone who was 11 in 2006,
oh my God!
Today I learned.
Were you allowed to watch MTV? Like when you were 11, did your parents let you watch MTV?
I wasn't not allowed to watch MTV, but I didn't. Part of the reason why I vibe so well with everybody else on this show is that I spent a lot of time watching like I Love the 80s in that time of my life.
It's thanks to your documentary watching that you can commune with the rest of us.
Yeah, I also grew up to be a history major. Imagine that.
I was 11 watching the History Channel, otherwise known as VH1.
Oh my God.
But like actually low key kind of.
Yes. I mean, those were great shows. It's fine. Cuz like
I love how it's made.
Yeah.
Want to watch people make things. And Modern Marvels, all very good shows. Bring them back.
Okay. Next school, we got Mercer, and let me spin the giant wheel again.
What does the button below the mute do?
Open all results.
Oh, I don't think that's probably the button.
We did the fight song again, but
okay, but like I'm always down for the fight song one.
How am I supposed to do that? But
just open it in YouTube and make sure that the sound's on.
Let's skip the fight song. I just don't trust y'all.
Okay, don't trust me.
That's hurtful.
Okay.
Accurate. Jordan is the only trustworthy person on this podcast.
Hey, while we spin, I just stumbled upon something. There is a Ford concert series at all of the Mercer home football games. Would you guys like to know the bands playing?
Yes.
That's better than the question we got.
Okay. Against the Citadel, it's Breland with Mackenzie Carpenter.
Okay.
Wait, are they hosting Princeton?
Yes.
They have the Eli Young Band.
Right.
Against Western Carolina, it's Nate Smith. I'm going to skip ETSU because it's the best one. Furman has Connor Smith. But on November 2nd, their artist against ETSU, which is amazing, is just Yacht Rock.
Oh my God.
It's funny because they're playing the Buccaneers.
Mercer by a million. What's the money line I can get on that game?
Finally, a sporting event that Pitbull isn't playing.
Yeah, I was waiting for Pitbull. No Pitbull.
I guess that particular check didn't cash.
Blew the entire athletic department budget on Pitbull.
Pitbull has a number. If you meet it, he will go there.
So that's Mercer's preview. We have the concert series with Yacht Rock. The Yacht Rock will be brought to you by Jesse and the Rippers, and they will sing the song "Have Mercer." So, okay, next team. On that note, is it finally the Keydets? They've teased me so many times. It is the Keydets. Like it's been almost the Keydets every single time. But it's finally the Keydets of VMI. What do we got for the Keydets? Has the school ever moved locations?
Oh, this is a good one. I like this.
All right.
VMI.
The Virginia Military Institute.
Search.
I feel like
I would think so.
Googling VMI history is an interesting choice.
The nation's first state-supported military college.
Okay.
Founded in 1839. Early history. Scrolling.
It looks like they've been in Lexington the entire time.
Just because they're still in Lexington doesn't mean they haven't moved across town. Pitt did that.
Oh, okay.
I just feel like VMI would never.
You know who else moved? Furman.
Oh.
See him here.
Furman.
Burning of the Institute.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
On June 12th, 1864.
I was going to ask if that was 1863 or 1864.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Union forces under the command of General David Hunter shelled and burned the Institute as part of the Valley campaigns of 1864.
Yeah.
The destruction was almost complete, and VMI had to temporarily hold classes at the Almshouse in Richmond, Virginia.
I guarantee that went a little something like, wait, Stonewall Jackson taught where? Okay.
The Lexington campus reopened for classes on October 17th, 1865.
My VMI story is that I went to a family wedding for my cousin who went there, and the entire time we were at this wedding, all of the VMI alums were sitting around trying to figure out how they could storm Washington D.C. in retaliation for the school burning.
Beth, I have an important addition from the Wikipedia article for you and me, and also Arthur on that point.
Okay.
Quote, one of the reasons that Confederate General Jubal A. Early burned the town of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, was in retaliation for the destruction of VMI.
Oh my.
So the answer to the question is yes, temporarily.
Okay. Temporarily. Done. Next up is let's just take it off the military.
I feel like the Keydets are going to be the only people that are happy with how we previewed.
Also, VMI didn't become co-ed until after I was born.
That tracks.
Done. Perfect. Let's just take it easy on the military theme. So let's go. Next school is the Citadel. So what do we got for the Citadel? Oh my god.
Oh, SoCon, you are a delight.
This is going well. What is their best rivalry trophy? If they're all boring, what would be better?
I feel like they should have one.
They should have some rivalry trophies.
Citadel Furman football rivalry.
Yeah, popped up
first.
Is there a trophy?
They stole our horse, and I think I'm double checking to see what happened to it.
Oh, I see it. 1963.
They stole. Okay. Is the horse the trophy now?
I don't think
bronze it.
They don't know what the trophy is. They haven't had it in a bit. Wait.
My god! I didn't realize the Citadel were the Bulldogs because Western Carolina. I'm gonna revise that. You're 1-1 against Bulldogs. You lose to Sanford and you beat the Citadel.
If I may read again from Wikipedia, as is my wont,
okay,
regarding the Citadel Furman football rivalry, quote, the rivalry is enhanced by the stark differences between the two schools. One, a military college in coastal Charleston, and the other, a liberal arts college in upstate Greenville. Many pranks were engineered by cadets and students, most memorably in 1963, when Citadel cadets kidnapped the horse that Furman's Paladin mascot rode during games. While the tale was embellished by Pat Conroy, the horse survived, but did not resume its mascot duties.
That's what it was.
I found us a rivalry trophy.
Yeah, Pat Conroy. I think in one of his books they killed the horse. But the horse was never actually killed in real life. It was just had a sprained ankle, is what I was reading.
There are multiple citations on this particular part of the Wikipedia article, including a headline from 2014 that reads, "What happened to the Furman Paladin's horse?"
See, this is the conference preview that you don't get anywhere else. We're talking about stolen horses from the 1960s.
So one of their other main rivalries is the Military Classic of the South, which is the Citadel versus VMI, and they play for the silver SICKO. A SICKO are those boxy looking band hats that have like the feather that goes straight up.
Very nice.
If you, I posted one I posted a picture in the chat. But Miller, you're going to have to probably Google the silver SICKO to see its majesty.
Oh,
it's a good old band hat on top of a block of wood. So
perfect.
Not a bad trophy, actually.
I like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It has sort of the we bronzed a bric-a-brac.
Furman
it does look a little bit like the land grant trophy in that it is just a metal thing on top of a wooden box.
I feel like a good rivalry trophy either has to be unwieldy, like it has to have multiple people to carry it, or it could break, or it could be used as a prop at all times, like the
Yes.
cowboy hat from Red River. Like there has to be a prop involved, or it's like something that 4 people have to carry, or it will be broken.
How hard was it to come up with the Duke's Mayo Bowl trophy?
The trophy's been around. It was there for the Belk Bowl, and it is not inexpensive. Okay. It's Waterford crystal. So
it looked very expensive.
Do you want to hear the real story of it breaking?
I would love that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So and this has happened multiple times. The trophy arrived with issues. So we were getting it repaired and everything. And so in 2020, when Graham Mertz was, I think that was his first year at Wisconsin. Man, time flies. They won, and he was not the MVP. Actually, there was a linebacker who's now in the NFL, but he was dancing with it, and it literally toppled off, and they taped it. But the whole thing it was like a big deal. But in the middle, it was actually like a blessing because everyone was screaming at us online. That was like the most angry anyone had been on Twitter about anything. Because we didn't dump mayonnaise. They had the idea to dump white Gatorade. Granted, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so the game happened is all that matters. So like it actually was like the greatest thing because not only did the trophy distract people from the cooler not being mayonnaise, a replacement had already been ordered. And then what was really cool, which you guys know, home field, I called Connor and we said, let's make shirts. And we raised like $37,000 for the food bank just selling shirts with the broken trophy on it.
I have one of them. I wore that when I went on the Kay Adams show. I was wearing that particular Mayo Bowl trophy shirt.
So and then there's another trophy that came it was broken. So we just had the crystal ball. And bowl season, our conference or our organization asked for everyone to send in a scenic picture of their trophy in their city. And, people doing whatever in Orlando, like their trophy, whatever. Me and my friend at work, Will, took the silver ball to the middle of a city park and smashed it with hammers. And then took it and sent in a picture of like broken glass in the middle of the city, like with the trophy. And I got an email back from the executive director asking if that was the photo we wanted to use. And I said, yes, that's the photo. So I think that was they used our countdown that year of our trophy.
That's amazing. I love that so much.
All right, let's go to Chattanooga, UT Chattanooga. The question we have for UT Chattanooga, I feel like we skipped the team.
Is that how we want to say that?
Chattanooga?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you want to hit it hard, like the UT Chattanooga.
No, so we had the number 69 eating wings question already.
I think he could probably eat a nice amount of wings.
Yeah, probably.
We'll answer a different question.
I mean,
pick our wheel. Why?
Why pick a wheel? It's just because, like, I think Jordan had everything saved, and it's just like now it's just like it's all the same questions again. This is like Spotify Shuffle. The fight song, I hit that question.
We're just getting espresso over and over and over again.
It's. I mean,
we've done this one too.
We did the Pokemon, yeah.
Let's just pick one and answer. Like at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure. The average temperature of a home game at noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. Game time each a month, August through December. Okay. Yeah. So Chattanooga weather?
Chattanooga weather.
Averages by month.
Today.
So I got
it does not surprise me that you got there first.
Yeah, of course. I am the weather guy. But August 88 high, low 73. September 82 high, low 67. October 72 high, low 56. November high 62, low 46. December high 53, low 38. There you go. I'm not giving you time at noon. You just get that. So the final school is the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. Let me see if I can go back to the wheel here, because we could just like pick fun questions at this point instead of spinning, because this is
This is a new one.
All right. Number of drive-through restaurants within a 1 mile radius of the center of the stadium.
Okay.
Where is East Tennessee State? I don't know this off the top of my head.
East Tennessee.
We're looking for the ETSU Ballad Health
Johnson
Athletics
City.
Oh, I was gonna say it, and I was too scared to guess. Gosh.
Guess. You can guess. You don't lose credit.
Oh, it's a dome, and it's a fun dome.
It's a fun dome. Okay.
Why do you need a dome in Tennessee?
Why not?
Hot.
Humidity?
I mean, the time I went to see NASCAR at Bristol, there was rain. So
I posted a picture. It's
same, actually.
It's not a dome.
Oh, yeah, this is not a dome. This is very much not a dome.
Oh, okay.
No, they play in William B. Green Jr. Stadium.
Oh, okay. I got distracted by
What stadium was that?
I don't know.
They play outside. I'm like, they don't have
Mystery Dome.
Mystery Dome.
Oh my god!
All right,
what dome was that? What dome was that?
So
I didn't even know what dome
at one time, this is the ETSU Mountain States Health Alliance Athletic Center, and it did host the football team for a while.
Okay, all right, just not right now.
So ETSU cut football, and when they came back, they had a different stadium.
Okay. I'm looking at Google Maps. I'm not measuring a mile because I'm too lazy to do that.
Yes.
But what I see within reasonably near distance of William B. Green Jr. Stadium is 2 different Starbucks and a cookout.
Interesting.
2 different Starbucks, and you got the cookout there, so I'm sold on this school already.
There's also a Kroger. Not that that's a fast food place, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Chick-fil-A not too far away also, but that seems to be on-campus dining.
I've never been to Cookout, but it seems like that many Starbucks is a missed opportunity.
I don't know what this restaurant is, but it's not fast food. It's something called Cootie Brown's.
There's also a local, I assume, coffee place called 7 Brew Coffee.
Oh, Cootie Brown's has oh my god. Our guests enjoy gourmet fire roasted pizzas, authentic tamales, steaks, salads, and sandwiches. Our Jamaican, New Orleans, Mexican, Italian, and American entrees have been delighting East Tennessee restaurants since we opened in 1999. Cootie Brown's. That's a lot. Oh my god, that's just way too much.
There's also a First Watch, a McDonald's, and a place that I'm unclear. Oh, fast food restaurant called Pal's Sudden Service.
Okay.
Currently closed, opens at 6 a.m. on Monday.
Sudden service sounds kind of ominous.
It does.
It looks kind of ominous.
They're going to surprise you.
For quick service, fast service, sudden service feels like your waiter's doing a jump scare.
The building has a giant hot dog on it. Hang on a second.
What is this?
I'm trying to figure out how I can copy this photo out of the Google Maps app on my phone so I can put it in the chat. Please hold.
Speaking of restaurants with hot dogs, about down Poinsett Highway, 3 miles from Furman, there was this place called Wally Dog that was operated by these older ladies. It was only open 3 hours a day, we believed. No one ever really went in or out of the restaurant, and nearly everyone was convinced it was a money laundering scheme. So,
yes, that is a mafia front.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the classic in San Antonio. It's something known as Fred's Fish Fry on the south side. That's San Antonio's version of that. Yes.
In Pennsylvania, these are universally Italian restaurants.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I remember there was this one pizza place near Pitt's campus that I don't think I ever saw anyone walking out of. And not only that, looking through the window, it didn't look like they actually had any pizza in there. They just had a sign out front that said Asimer's Pizza.
Wow.
All right. So that's it for the SoCon. Commish, you're muted.
Is that better, or is my mic acting up again?
No, you're better. You just accidentally muted yourself.
Sorry, my cord is acting up on my microphone, so I don't know what's going on with that. But we've hit an hour of the show, so I think we need to do the ad reads or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna actually make an executive decision here as the commish. We're gonna skip the Ivy League preview, and then we'll just talk about the rest of the stuff on the notes, if that's okay.
Yeah, that works. We can't do the Ivy League without Jordan.
We can't do the Ivy League without Jordan, the Dartmouth grad. We can't do that. So we'll go over this information here. And so just basically check out our link tree on Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky Profiles. We have a bunch of different promo codes for like coffee, organic energy bars, chai tea, liquor subscriptions, barbecue, mushroom coffee. And then we have like some fitness training bands, which is pretty awesome. Also join the Patreon Discord. Once the season starts, you get to participate in the weekly rankings debate. When we do our SICKO's Game of the Week rankings, we're probably going to try to do something a little bit different and maybe a little bit fun for FCS to try to highlight some games there too this year. I don't know how that's going to look, but we're going to do something like that. Maybe give our top 10 interesting FCS games or something like that. You're welcome to see the inner workings behind the scenes that happen during the game days, including much yelling about the games as they're going on. Also, we're going to be yelling a ton about the Olympics. So that's going to be something that's going to be a lot of fun. Just all of the Discord members yelling about the Olympics. It's great. You're welcome to help participate in the Weird Sickos research that leads to some of our fun graphics about, the nearest Popeyes to campus or stuff like that you see from us various week to week, along with all our fun non-NCAA championship graphics that we put together, which I think we may have one more. I don't know, but Jordan is not here, so we hope so. Also, you're welcome to, as a patron, you can submit suggestions for some of our podcast segments and any other ideas to talk about on the podcast. If you subscribe to the Patreon, you also get the paywalled Substack posts. We got 3 different podcasts behind the paywall, too. We have Commish's Corner. We have Yes, Rah, 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 Yes, which is Beth and Jordan's podcast about the fun fight songs that we listen to every now and then. And we just completed the Prairie View Chronicles, our 7 podcast series that we did about the 80-game losing streak that Prairie View A&M went through from 1989 to 1998. We went over every single game that happened there with Blue from Feed Your Mascot podcast. That was a lot of fun to do. Also, we got our merchandise store coming back up. We have a YouTube. We have videos, we have shorts, we have the podcast that you can listen to without seeing any faces, and we have the weird animation, which Miller gets to choose his animation, which should be fun. Which I think a Furman flag maybe with there, and maybe get like a Mayo Bowl helmet or something like that.
Ooh,
or we'll figure something
nice.
out. Yeah.
How do you envision yourself as a SICKO animation, Miller?
That's a tough question. He's like, oh my god.
Go ask my significant other, and it probably wouldn't be a lot different description. I'll get back to you. Let me think about that.
Get back to us. Just
Absolutely.
Let us know. We'll get the clips out on like Tuesday, so you got a few days. Think about it. A Furman flag will probably be likely involved in there for sure. We also have an Instagram. Give us a follow on Instagram. We can, and also shout out to our SICKO Substacks. We are doing the current SICKO's Committee weather forecast. Weather, travel, and forecast Master Almanac Network this year. I can't even say stuff right anymore. It's great, but we're doing previews for all of the FCS teams. We're doing previews for all of the FBS teams on Monday. When you get this on Tuesday, the Southland Conference just dropped. Last week, we dropped the Big Sky, we dropped the Ivy League, and we dropped the Missouri Valley Football Conference. We're probably going to have these out one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is how I have it scheduled right now. Shout out to the Message Board Genius podcast. They go to the places where we don't want to travel. And then also give a shout out to SICKO and the Home Field Apparel. If you have not bought from Home Field Apparel before, which I have many, many times, they just released UTSA.
Honestly, what are you doing listening to the show if you have not already bought something from Home Field? But if you haven't, we do have a discount code for you.
I tried to get the UTSA hat for my wife, and they sold out the hats in 11 minutes. So I am on. I did get her all the shirts that she wanted because she is a UTSA alum. I did get those. But if you have not purchased anything from Home Field, the code is yes, ha ha ha, yes. That's 3 ha's in the middle for 15% off your first purchase for Home Field. They just finished the Summer 7 with the UTSA, and they have some crazy deals coming up. let me see when this is coming out, because there
See
could
if
be
we're
something.
allowed to be sneaky.
I think
Hold
some
on.
of the deals might be secret, but while Commish checks to see if the deals are secret, I will say that I am immensely pleased that the UTSA shirt for the subscribers is the one with the Roadrunner and the shape of Texas on it. I love shirts that have the state shape on them.
Yes.
And
It's very good.
And if you're the sort of person like me who has always been interested in getting a mystery box, but you were afraid you were going to get your rival, I highly recommend coming up with a similar arrangement that Pitt Girl and I have come up with, so that when my Happy Rock shirt showed up at my house this week, she immediately knew she was getting a new shirt.
I'm so happy. I was so happy. That shirt, it's the white Happy Rock shirt, which I bought as soon as it launched and have worn the hell out of. And so mine is like very worn. And now I get a new one for free. And I get to just swap some other mystery box shirts from previous ones that I don't wear as frequently. Sorry, South Carolina, with Beth. It's very good. Just find a rival bestie who is approximately the same size shirt as you.
Yep.
Would recommend.
Perfect.
Getting the smile and confidence you've been dreaming about, all from the comfort of your home, isn't a total mystery with Byte clear aligners. Just don't be surprised if all your friends start asking, "What's your secret?" Begin by ordering your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95. Byte clear aligners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer flexible financing, accept eligible insurance, and you can pay with your HSA FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
All right. So let's move on to something. I wanted to discuss what Jordan did. He lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He went to the SEC Media Days and just sat outside.
And he's not here to defend himself.
And he's not here to defend himself. So we could just basically just say whatever happened there. He met some guy wearing a Florida shirt, like a Florida Gator
suit.
It's a Florida suit.
He had gator pants.
He had gator pants.
He just sat outside, like not
he
even
did not have credentials.
Sat at the bar. We did not have a credential.
That's brilliant.
Showed up in a Tulane t-shirt.
You should not make fun of him at all. As someone who's been to media days, that is far better than going to media days. It is the people watching, because when you go in, you're going to get the same regurgitated. It's going to be talking points, right? Like that's what they're doing. They have all the prep time to go into it. It's a speech and then talking points. What's really cool is just seeing who rolls in. Who are you seeing? Like, it's people watching. That's what it is. So I think that's the way to go. I'm actually missing ACC kickoff this year. I will miss seeing people who will be there. I will not miss being in the building for a couple days.
I do want to give Jordan a shout out for wearing the Tulane shirt while he was there. Like a former SEC member, like he's outside the media. They won't let him back in. They won't let him back in because like Tulane's just hanging out outside and they won't let him back in.
He was initially telling us that he was going to wear his Colorado School of Mines shirt as sort of a SICKO signal. And then he sent us a selfie wearing the Tulane Angry Wave shirt. And I was like, this was the correct decision.
That was the correct decision. Definitely a former member. That was great. So I mentioned earlier that Big Sky Bridget is in Spokane at Big Sky Media Days. They just unveiled a new trophy. I wanted to talk about just a little bit. So
I haven't seen it.
Okay. You haven't seen it?
I haven't.
It's in the chat.
You are in for a treat, Beth.
Listen, there have been so many children.
So they used to have something called King Spud. And then they had something called the Battle of the Domes. So between Idaho and Idaho State. Now they have something completely new. They have a new trophy. It is the Potato State Trophy. It is basically a wooden potato on like a stand, and then there's the little metal thing of the shape of Idaho, and they weighed it for us already. They weighed it for us. It is 19.4 pounds of potato. It is amazing, and the wood is a Douglas fir, very high class choice, I think, in wood trophiness. And they start this season. So they have a brand new trophy. The Battle of the Domes trophy has been retired, and they have changed it to the Potato State Trophy. So this is one that Bridget is. She's a professional photographer. So I was like, you need all the glamour shots of this potato trophy as much as possible. Give us the angles. Give us the light. I want some good depth. Maybe throw a fisheye lens on it. I have no idea. Do it. I trust Big Sky Bridget to do something with this amazing trophy. I am really, really hyped for that.
I'm picturing like high school, like these are my senior pictures.
Yes.
Like soft lighting, and you're
Can
wearing
you put like
something
a 20,
that is
like
cool
a
at the time,
2024.
but
Put a
gonna
bit,
be
yeah.
aggressively dated in 5 years.
I'm gonna put a baton next to it, but also a chemistry book.
Done. Can we put like a National Honor Society thing over the potato?
It's got
Like
its
the
cord
side-
and cap and gown.
It's got its own cap and gown.
I enjoy how sort of gnarled they made the wood, so you can see the eyes and everything else. It's a good trophy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. It's great. The Battle of the Domes needed some work, and oh boy, did they come through with the Potato State Trophy. So shout out to them. That's amazing. So I want to go on to next, which is back to the SEC where Jordan was at. Jordan was outside when these quotes were happening, so he didn't get to witness these quotes in person. But
which is good, because then we would be talking about how Jordan got thrown out of SEC media days.
Yes, true.
Can you imagine? Can we just take a second to pause even before we say what this quote was?
Yes.
Can we all ponder what questions Jordan would have asked after hearing this?
I would not have been capable of a fake media laugh in this situation. That would have been a full-throated guffaw, and I would have been in trouble.
A listener, the quote in question is, and I quote, "Our focus is to embrace the hog." Arkansas coach Sam Pittman.
So good.
Oh, look, SEC Media Days, you got Eli Drinkwitz talking about STIs. And then the next day, he's trying to take back the acronym. Then the next day, you got Sam Pittman talking about our focus is to embrace the hog.
That is how you get the STIs, yes.
Oh my God.
I saw a picture of an Arkansas flag at the Tour de France. And it's on our Twitter timeline. If you scroll back, whatever, just check it out. But there's a fan in the crowd, the yellow jerseys passing by, and there's a giant Arkansas flag. And all I could tweet was like, "Looks like France is embracing the hog." I can't stop thinking about this quote. Like this has been like 3 or 4 days of just. And then I remember who the offensive coordinator is for Arkansas.
Oh no.
That's how you got trouble last time.
Noted motorcycle enthusiast Bobby Petrino truly does embrace the hog.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what problem. He let go.
He failed to embrace
the hog. That's Sam Pittman bringing it all back together. That's, he also had another quote talking about his hog statue that he has outside of his house. He says,
a normal thing to have.
I can turn this hog 16 different colors.
Have you guys seen the pictures of it? It's incredible.
No.
It's on a lake. It's like looking out on a vista.
It's an amazing statue. But then after him saying he wanted to embrace the hog and talking about turning the hog 16 different colors.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great statue. Somebody says that Coach Cal's going to have one, and it's going to be 17 different colors because he's got to one up the football coach. So.
Oh God, I forgot about that. I completely memory hold that that's a thing now. Oh God. Arkansas basketball is a thing I have to think about now.
Well, here's my question. I think this is a group that appreciate this. Pittman's on the hot seat. Let's say he doesn't have a good season and leaves. He clearly is probably going to not keep that house. How is that realtor conversation going to go with the person looking at it? It's like, what's in the backyard? It's a giant hog you can light up 16 colors.
I can't wait for this show to or for this house to show up on Zillow Gone Wild.
Oh, that's going to be wonderful.
What do we think the inside of the house looks like?
I feel like there's, and this probably happens in like certain markets that are like really small, but like have like a football coach or something, where like you can probably just sell that to someone else who's working for Arkansas athletics. Like whenever Sam Pittman goes, there will be a new head coach, and like you just have that already built in. Like, yep, it's where an athletic department employee, either like an athletic director, a football coach, maybe a basketball coach, like you just keep them rolling.
It's like a church having a parsonage, but like big and stupid.
Beth, I know you wanted to say something about the church. Like, I saw your eyes light up about...
I was trying to come up with what you would call an Arkansas parsonage, and my brain just kept going the sty, and that's not helpful. But that's spectacular. I'm just imagining like trying to write the real estate blog for the real estate blurb for it, and just like former owner is an art enthusiast.
They either have put water in this for these photos, put water in the hog's mouth, or it's a fountain feature and water drips from
too.
Oh, that's so good.
I think it's the fountain also. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Is it a fountain or is it a bubbling rock?
It is described as, quote, a slobbering razorback in several of the headlines I see.
There's two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one hog leads and the other follows.
That's correct.
Which was the one you embrace? Is it the leader or the follower? Asking for a friend, Sam Pittman. Oh, it's amazing.
That's the focus. So anytime you tweet about Arkansas this year, we have to use the hashtag embrace the hog. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just Commish's orders. So
I tangentially, I also can't wait for this house to end up on McMansion Hell because it has a bunch of like useless turrets.
Yeah. She follows us, so we can tag her into this.
Listener, I would like to remind you that you should not embrace a razorback. Feral hogs are dangerous.
They are. Especially about 30 to 50 of them.
Especially when you have small children.
That's true. Gotta defend yourself.
God.
I'm just gonna say that person has been
this Old Yeller remake is really going off the chain.
That person has been the most proven right. At this point, they're everywhere. Gotta embrace them. All right. Moving on. So we got some news about the Big Sky. Besides the trophy, they're doing a little bit of Big Sky After Dark, which are branded Big Sky bangers. They're trying to claim, I guess, doing some late night games since the Pac-12 is not necessarily no longer exists in the form that it was last year. But Idaho and Montana State, Big Sky After Dark, and they tagged it Big Sky Bangers too. So we have impacted the branding of the Big Sky Conference. That is Idaho at Montana State. Also, there's a UC Davis at Montana. Both of those games should be amazing Big Sky games. Should be fun to check out, and they will be on late night. So they're going to be on starting at about 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. So you're going to have some fun on ESPN, ESPN2. Check it out. October 12th, if you haven't looked at the schedule already, is an incredibly loaded day. And then you're going to be exhausted by that night, but then just throw these games on. They'll be the perfect nightcap to the craziness of October 12th.
You got me looking at the October 12th football schedule now.
Oh my God. Like the actual games of like the top teams is nuts. But then
UTSA and Rice get hype.
Well, I mean, yes.
But like actually, what else we got October 12th? Southern Miss ULM.
So you got...
Oh God, it's Cal at Pitt Day.
Oh no.
That's gonna be... Look, you got Missouri at Massachusetts.
All kinds of crazy conference games. You got Ohio State, Oregon. You got Penn State, USC. Just traditional conference
Iowa
rivalry.
State, West Virginia.
Washington at Iowa.
God.
Minnesota at UCLA.
As a West Virginia fan, there are a few schools in the conference that infuriate me as much as Iowa State. Like, that's just a game that I just end up mad. Whatever happens, I'm just going to be mad.
Sibling in a lot of ways, Beth. They are. It's the Riot Bowl for a reason.
Yeah.
I have to hop off, but I want to leave you guys with a story that I think a few of you guys would enjoy. It's not Furman related. So I went to Clemson for grad school, and I'm a Clemson fan. I was born in West Virginia and have a heart for West Virginia, but I married a Pitt grad. Yes. So there's Pitt in my family. We pull for Pitt. In fact, the day I proposed was 2016 I proposed at Furman and then went to a certain football game and saw Pitt beat Clemson. So this has been part of mine. But I now have a 4-year-old who thinks every football game's the Mayo Bowl. It's his favorite thing. He calls the stadium the Mayo Bowl. But he is falling in love with sports. And what he's falling in love with is the tradition, which is really cool. So he will say, hey, put on the Pitt song, which we then put on Sweet Caroline. Beth, we don't sing the real version. And he screams, let's go Pitt. By the way, we played Sweet Caroline and they said eat shit Pitt. And I didn't tell Brittany's friend we were going to do that. And she was so offended. She had no idea what was going to happen she was a Pitt grad. So then I play Country Roads. And so I have an out-of-tune 4-year-old who now has memorized all of Country Roads to battle that. And then, but I asked him in the car today and I was like, do you want to be a Clemson fan? He said, no. I said, do you want to be a West Virginia fan? He said, no. And I said, Pitt. And I think he wants that life of sadness. I was like, buddy, I'm so sorry. No. He is, but I did win him over by showing the Clemson entrance because it had buses, police cars, a cannon, a hill, balloons. It had everything a kid wants.
Yeah.
So that was a win.
That's fair.
He's got a long way to go. He's 4 years old. He'll hopefully we'll see what happens there. But I
think he just likes I just think he likes the Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's really
who doesn't?
For school photos, he only would wear a shirt that says "I'm just here for the Mayo." That's what his school photo.
I mean, when you've been to the top of the mountain at 4,
yeah,
Miller's kid, welcome to the SICKO's committee.
Welcome to the committee.
He is pure sicko. That's what he likes. Very.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
I will forever remember that Mayo Bowl for the most wild thing anyone has ever said to me in a SICKO's committee capacity was when I was sitting in your press box and someone in the front row walked past me like 3 times. And after the last time looks at me, he goes, SICKO's. This profession's going to hell. And
yes.
It was so good.
Do you know how easy it was to say yes to credentialing you? Absolutely. You know who reads or listens or follows more of your stuff than that person?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That was so much fun. I had a blast. I hope that you run out of conference teams and we get to go again.
People, I randomly tweeted about the yogurt machine on the frozen yogurt, and everyone thought it had mayonnaise. We've reached that point where people think everything is mayonnaise related. There's a guy chugging mayonnaise outside by himself. We don't even plan this stuff now. It's weird.
I got so many messages from people like, beware of the frozen yogurt machine. I'm like, I think it's frozen yogurt, guys. I
just did a literal joke and then put my phone down, and then it got aggregated. It's great.
It is very important.
If we retweet it, it's in trouble.
Die at the Mayo Bowl, though.
Yeah, and everyone's like, we literally had an intern send me a video of a guy with just a squeeze bottle walking through our fan fest, just doing it. She's like, is this someone working for you? I'm like, no, I have no idea who this random person is who's bought his own mayonnaise to the fan fest and is just taking it to the face. Thank you for having me. And I will say the worst part about the Mayo dump, it smells so bad. I just want everyone to know it's so great on TV and everything. No one really knows how disgusting it is. It smells so bad. And the coaches are always so sad walking through the stadium and you see their little footsteps, their little white footsteps. It's amazing.
Can you say a little tiny bit more before you go about what exactly goes into the Mayo dump? Because I know it's not straight Mayo. And I understand that
it's straight Mayo.
A trade secret, you can't tell
It's straight
us,
Mayo.
Is it really?
Straight Mayo. They whip the crap out of it, right?
Yeah, you have to whip it to get to a certain viscosity. Yeah.
Okay.
To get it with a
there's a marketing agency, and that's their responsibility.
Oh my god. That poor intern.
The Mayo intern. I love it.
That's incredible.
Put that on the resume. What were you doing?
Take care. Thank you, Miller.
Thank you, Miller.
You so
Appreciate
much.
it for coming on. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
What are microplastics? And what are scientists learning about these small particles? I'm Mia Quinn. On the next episode of Sustainably Speaking, I talk with Dr. Jean Hinkett, who's leading a center that studies microplastics at BASF, about how she's approaching this issue with research and solutions in mind. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
We got the Mayo guy on vacation.
I'm so happy right now.
Yeah. Amazing.
Y'all, when I came back from the Mayo Bowl, one of the very first things that I said to these guys was like, we have to get Miller on the podcast. And I'm very happy with that right now.
Yeah. Miller, if you're listening, please come back. We would love to have you again. You were delightful.
Oh. Do we have rails?
No. We do have additional things on the show notes, though.
Okay.
We do.
Yes, we have. Following Big Sky After Dark, we have additional show notes news about the Big Sky. Idaho State football is excited to welcome Dan Hawkins to Pocatello and the Bengals.
That's right. So Dan Hawkins was the coach of UC Davis last year, and he defeated his son at Idaho State, and then retired. He's like, I beat my son. And he won another game over Sacramento State. They didn't put him in the FCS playoffs, and then he retired, and then now he's back working with his son as the player and staff development, the director of player staff development for Idaho State. So he, there's the saying is like, if you can't beat them, join them. But like he beat them and then joined them.
If you can beat them, join their staff and lord it over them forever.
I respect that. Also, I would like to encourage everyone on the show to take a look at the picture that I just posted in the show notes, or in the chat rather. This is Dan Hawkins when he was at Colorado.
Yes.
What are those glasses?
Yeah, I have questions about the haircut. I have questions about the sunglasses.
Anytime I see weird sunglasses, I assume it was like something Oakley was on in the aughts.
It's definitely 2000 something.
It does look like that, but like, why are they old man sunglasses but tiny?
I think he took the glasses you get in the tanning booth that you put over your eye. It seems like that was like that's how small they were, like those little tiny. Oh my God,
I can't knock that hairstyle because I think I had that hairstyle in 1987 when every parent around me was trying to cut their kids' hair to look like Mary Lou Retton.
I got an idea just now. What about like a sun monocle?
What are you going to do about your other eye?
Wink.
New business venture, $1 million idea.
You're just going to look like all of those 40s like Navy hat mascots.
I hate that I'm Googling sun monocle. Oh God, it autofills. Someone has already thought of this. Did anyone invent the sun monocle? A tweet from 2016 with 1,000 likes.
I found one that has like a C clamp onto a hat.
Avoid blindness. 50% effective.
The sun.
Listen, I only want to protect my right eye. I hate my left eye. Work harder, left eye.
Oh my God, I found something that's a cap-mounted sun monocle.
Can you put a picture in the chat?
I'm going to do that in the chat. But yeah, it's just basically it has like a clamp on the brim of your hat.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is like a sun-mounted, or I'm sorry, a cap-mounted sun-mounted. Yeah, we're mounting this on the sun.
This looks like it would weigh a minimum of a pound.
Yes. It also looks a lot like a magnifying glass. This is a magnifying glass with tint on it.
Sometimes I think to myself, Sunglasses are just too much work.
I'm going to put a contraption on my hat for only one eye instead.
God,
Can
it's
we
beautiful.
sell a monocle in the store?
I don't
Do they
know.
have that option?
I feel like of all of the promotional merch out there, monocle is pretty far down the list in terms of does someone make this?
Yeah,
Promotional monocles.
Except I feel like steampunk people also exist.
Oh, that's true.
Custom prescription monocle.
Steampunk
monoclemadness.co.uk.
Oh, okay. It definitely feels like British thing.
It is a very British thing, but you can order them. I think they do ship to the United States.
We should have like a parody British version of our store, but it's like making fun of British. Like it's not like actual like enthusiastic like it's coming home stuff. Like it's just making fun of.
So it's sort of
SortofsCommittee.co.uk.
No, can we have can we just like spell it like the SICKO's committee? Like there's a U in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Like the
Do you like college football? Are you the Batman villain, the Penguin? Well, do we have a product for you?
Are you a Youngstown State fan? No.
Jordan, if you are listening to this after the fact, I would like to put SICKO's guy with monocle on the vision board, please.
Okay.
Also, just for the merch vision board, if there's a way to do this, like an Audi A6, but like it's SICKO's branded.
Oh.
Can we take a second to talk about the guy on Twitter who is Pontiac Aztec football team?
Yes.
Because he's our people.
Oh, man.
Oh, he follows us.
Team Builder is back.
They follow us. The Team Builder is back.
Pontiac Aztec University is an elite online university for aspiring shitposters.
They totally, I think they follow us for sure. Oh my God. The Pontiac.
Respect the Aztec.
Oh yeah, totally. And the handle is at Pontiac Aztec 69.
Nice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Definitely. They totally did he totally made a team builder for Pontiac Aztec University. I made one for the SICKO's committee. Which
yeah, you did.
I did. That was fun. Team builder was fun.
I feel like we've basically been doing team builder type stuff for a while with like actual college, like all those like, oh, what if this program did a checkerboard type things? Like we've basically been doing team builder for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now we get to do it live in the game, and I was just glad how I used Vandy Stadium, and I just wanted to see what it looked like when it was finished, and I put the SICKO's committee. Like our logo that we got from Ward, and cartoonist Kelly that we got like licensed and we purchased from them across. Somebody said it wasn't big enough, and I was like, well,
and make it bigger.
I did go from like the 20 to the 20, the opposite 20, but I couldn't. I wanted to keep like the SICKO body like inside the playing field. If I didn't want that, I could have just covered the entire field. But I used the beveled version of that one too, so it worked out well. And the field was black, like D3 Millersville, in SUNY's Millersville with the black turf. But when you played on it and you were just like at field level, it looked purple. But then when you saw the overhead cam, the field looked black. It was ridiculous.
I'm just so charmed by the fact that our logo is larger on our field than either Texas's or SMU's. That makes me happy.
Definitely.
I do have a brief point of correction only because my face immediately went when you said Millersville. That is SUNY Morrisville, not Millersville, University of Pennsylvania, which has a green field, and I know that because my high school plays football there. Shout out to Beamsturfer Stadium.
Honestly, if you say any word or phrase in the English language, it's probably a college in Pennsylvania.
Probably.
That is accurate. We got all the colleges. We got so many colleges.
Sorry, Jordan.
I'm not.
Well, it's not that Pennsylvania has like an abnormally large. They do, but like it's not like abnormal for the Northeast. It's that like every single school in Pennsylvania has football. That's like the big distinction. Like there are lots of random like small schools throughout the country, especially concentrated in areas that like historically had a lot of population, like the Northeast, that like that whole part of the country. Like Pennsylvania just has the culture where like your random D3 liberal arts school has a football team.
That is true and accurate. Pennsylvania is also geographically larger than most of the other states in the Northeast. And so, like, we got a lot of little tiny schools, and all of them have football, as opposed to Connecticut, which has a bunch of little tiny schools, and a lot of them have football, but, like, there's just not as much space in Connecticut for as many little tiny schools as Pennsylvania has.
And some Pennsylvania schools only kind of have football. Go Teal!
I mean, to be fair, like, you know, we love Temple, but, like, they kind of only kind of have football, too.
Do we need to like make a teal team builder? A teal field? I want to give a shout out to the 21
listeners.
people.
If I could describe Beth's face to you right now, I would.
Okay.
I should buy this game.
I can make it. It's fine. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. I want to give a shout out to the 21 of you who downloaded my SICKO committee field. Like, I don't know why, but I gave you the code. You wanted to do it. I don't know why. If you're using it and you listen to the podcast, please do not sue us for any eye damage that the field causes.
I do like that the field is so black that it wraps around and looks purple.
Yeah, it is.
You have to send us a screenshot of every safety that happens on that field. We have to know.
Yep.
I like that I got the game, I downloaded it. I played exactly one game and then like I'm on vacation. So like I have
How did your exactly one game go?
I basically the game is really realistic because I started playing as Pitt and immediately turned into Pat Nardizzi. Like as soon as I started going, I was like, oh man, like passing's hard. Let's just run the ball.
Oh my god.
If I'm gonna call a pass, I'm gonna call like some really short bullshit, like let's get an easy completion type
bubble
thing.
Screen,
like,
bubble screen.
Right, like something like that, or like just like a really short like pass out into the flat or something like that. Then on defense, it was like, okay, I've figured out how to rush the quarterback. And I figured out how to, like, if I see the run, like I can get off my block as like a defensive lineman and like stop the run. If the quarterback has enough time to get the pass off, like we're probably in trouble. I think in the game I was playing against Syracuse in the Fenway Bowl, because the Pinstripe Bowl isn't in the game. But I think Kyle McCord, who is on Syracuse now, by the way, that's not like a glitch in the game. He's really there. I think he went 15 for 18 against my defense, but like Syracuse had negative rushing yards.
That feels right.
Yeah,
that's spiritually correct.
It was spiritually correct for Pitt on both sides of the ball. And also I lost because I could not make extra points. Like, I mean, I couldn't make any field goal. Like, I was like, I haven't figured out the kicking yet. So
no, playing the game, which is I started ULM Dynasty, of course. Kicking a field goal is so ridiculous. I played, I think the first game on the schedule I had FCS like Northeast or whatever, and they were trying to run the triple. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot stop this at all. But I was able to get a win. And then the next game I played against UAB, and it was the no huddle, and I could not stop UAB for nothing. Like as soon as they did the no huddle, it was over. It was done. Then I had to go on the road to Kentucky, and I beat Kentucky. I hit like when the thing was shaking all over the place, like in the scariness of the crowd, it was just going. I hit like a 45-yarder, like it was nothing, and then I went to go kick a 32-yarder and like shanked it into the stand.
I so want to believe that someone at EA knew that Saban was retiring and was like, "Oh, we'll give him the ultimate present. we're gonna turn college kickers up to max in this game. Here you go. Enjoy your retirement. You'll never want to come back to football after this.
No.
College kickers.
Well, I will think as well, with this being like, I guess, new for the last 10 years or something game, that like there's a good chance that pretty soon we'll all be like, we figured out how to kick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, for me, I haven't played a football game in so long that there is a lot of like, I got to remember how to do that.
Speaking of Nick Saban's legendary status at Alabama will reach a new level this fall. Tide Illustrated has learned that Alabama is set to dedicate the field inside Bryant-Denny Stadium to the head coach during a ceremony on September 7th. Commish, who is Alabama playing on September 7th?
That would be South Florida, the Bulls.
What happened last year when Alabama played USF?
I mean, they won.
They did win.
Did they?
Was it 17-3 they won? In rain-delayed Raymond James Stadium, like multiple thunderstorms. And that's the game that they didn't play Jalen Milroe and played all the backups. And that did not go well for Alabama.
If Alabama is down a touchdown when they roll this out during the first quarter break to dedicate this field, how would you describe the atmosphere inside of Bryant-Denny?
I think they would be excited because they would be like, like Saban's here, and then like he can fix this.
You think they would just be like, come back, Nick, take over at halftime?
Like I think if it's looking rough, like he gets an even bigger cheer because it's like, okay, like if they're rolling, then it's just like, okay, well, like clearly it's not that hard. But if they're down, then it's like, oh man, like we love you, coach.
I feel like we know that Alabama fans are capable of like a very nearly unparalleled level of toxicity. Losing to USF on Nick Saban field dedication day might increment that standard up that much more.
It does mean more.
It really does. It really, really does.
It's weird to think about like Alabama fans as well, because like they haven't really had any like notable adversity. Like obviously they've had years where like it hasn't been perfect, or like games that will be frustrating, right? Like obviously like they were on the wrong end of like the kick six, but like in terms of being like actually not good, that's not something that they've had to deal with in like 15 years. Actually more than that now at this point.
There's a whole generation of Bama fans that is not prepared for this.
Yeah. Like
I remember the Fear the Thumb era, but I was young during the Fear the Thumb era. So there's a lot of Bama fans younger than me that are still like whole ass adult people who do not remember when Alabama consistently lost to Auburn and was otherwise not great.
Which means they also don't remember what Bama fans turn into when that happens.
Right. And I would actually,
as Commish nods sagely,
Right. My question on top of that is like, what do Bama fans turn into now at this point? Because like you've seen them before when things weren't going well. Like, what do things look like when they've had such a long, consistent run of success and then things turn bad? Like, is it even worse?
Tell us what it was like in the early aughts, Grandpa.
Alabama lost to Northern Illinois in 2003.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that happened.
That was fun. Do you remember the Mike Price era of Alabama?
Only very vaguely. That's why I ask.
Yeah. Yeah, he got fired before he even coached a game.
Mm-hmm.
They were a well-adjusted bunch.
That's right. Definitely. He, look, the Mike Shula era, not too great. I remember witnessing them win the national title in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl. They beat Miami, and Gino Torretta. They beat Miami really, really well. And then after that, the next year, like they had to like forfeit all their wins.
Yep.
And they went through the, I mean, I can't even remember the coach after Stallings. I have to look at their history because I can't even remember. I have it like blocked out because I went to go see a Jerry DiNardo coach team play in Bryant Denny Stadium, and I think the final score was 10-3. LSU won. It was, and we were sitting right next to the LSU band, like in the stands, and I was just like, what? I can't remember. It feels like 97. Or maybe 98. I don't know. It was, whew.
I have a very important update.
Beep,
I
beep,
have
beep.
I have searched list of Alabama Crimson Tide head football coaches on Wikipedia, and the picture at the top of the page is Kalen DeBoer in Washington clothes at the CFP.
Mwah. Beautiful.
So that's very Alabama related. But the reason I was looking at this, so it's Dennis Franchione, Mike Price, Mike Shula, Joe Kynes, 2006 only.
Oh.
Interim head coach after Mike Shula and then Saban.
I don't wish anything bad on Kalen DeBoer.
It's not going to go well for him.
I hope this goes well.
It's not going to. It's just not.
Yeah, this is a very bad idea. You want to replace the person who was bad at their job.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to replace the person where it's like, well, he's only been gone for 5 minutes, but we're going to name the building after him. Like, that's not good.
Yeah, I think Alabama's about to fall into their next like 20-year ditch where they're looking for the next Bear Bryant.
They'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. It was 95. Alabama won 10-3. That's what I had to find that game, by the way.
Good God.
No, Alabama's going to be fine. They have the infrastructure there. They have, as long as the boosters don't go crazy, which.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yes, exactly. That is the exactly right noise. This is the thing that everyone forgets is that Alabama's boosters are secretly the same as Auburn's boosters. It's just that Nick Saban ruled them with an iron fist for the better part of for over a decade, and so everyone forgot.
So we'll figure out what happens with Alabama there. We can. That's a lot of Alabama talk.
Yeah,
this
too
is
much,
way
too
more
much
Alabama
talk.
talk than we should have.
Let's go on to
talk about weird baseball food.
Yes, back to weird baseball food. Let's do that.
The Royals have unveiled the mother of all ballpark foods. The taste of the K taco is a hot dog wrapped in a cheeseburger quesadilla, topped with barbecue brisket, fries, lettuce, pickled onion, sriracha Cracker Jacks.
I'm sorry, what?
Sauce.
Topped with
and a little
what?
Airmark flag.
Read it again for Beth, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, it cut weirdly.
Yes. So hot dog wrapped in a cheeseburger quesadilla, and it's like sliced up. It's like a taco.
Okay.
With barbecue brisket, fries, lettuce, pickled onion, sriracha Cracker Jacks, and barbecue sauce. Would
not in any way, shape, or form.
Why not?
Because they've taken a cheeseburger quesadilla and topped it with sriracha Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
And you don't care if you ever get back?
Have you guys eaten Cracker Jacks?
Yes.
They glue your teeth together.
So I assume the sriracha ones are a little less gluey.
I just assumed it was spicy glue. So you're going to bite into that, and now you're stuck. Now this is your choice for the rest of the day.
I'm okay with that.
But what really does it for me with the picture that has come when they put out this food is the Aramark flag sticking out of it.
Like, as if they've summited it.
Well, no, just in general, like, you know, it's like Aramark is sort of like the fanatics of like food service for like large venues.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a couple other companies like you might have heard of like Sodexo, but it's basically like there's a certain point where it's very hard to do things like do like really good food at scale, right? Like when you go into a nice restaurant, like there's a limit on how many people they're serving, how big the kitchen is, how many tables they have, right? When you go to a sporting event, like there's so many people there, right? I mean, think about, I don't know the exact capacity of the stadium where this is in Kansas City, but like there's got to be like, I don't know, 40,000 people or something. Like it's just very hard to serve that many people food and like do it like really well from a like quality perspective. So, generally these companies are not really thought of as like inspiring or anything like that. So just seeing the Aramark flag is like, oh, okay, like yeah, we know what we're getting here.
Some people put flags on the moon. Aramark put a flag on this.
That's right, they did. A taste of the K taco. I mean, is that like a nickname for Kansas City? The K?
Kansans sound off in the chat.
Like it's Kansas City. Like
Missourians sound off in the chat.
I feel like if they called it the KC, I would be like, okay, that's definitely Kansas City.
Kauffman Stadium is called the K.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense.
And Arthur, yeah, you were correct. 37,900. So we'll call it. It's a gentleman's 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, like, which cities could you just say like the and then like the first letter, and like what city would that be? Because I feel like I've heard people call Detroit like the D.
The D, yeah.
I'm not sure how many other
Pittsburgh
cities.
The P very badly now.
No, but it's really, really not. And Philly is also not the P.
No.
Well, you could call the A for Atlanta, you would think, right?
I'm more comfortable calling Phoenix the P than I am calling either Pittsburgh or Philadelphia the P.
We call like the T for Tampa the T.
No, the T is how you get to Heinz Field.
That's okay. Like, well, I mean, like New Orleans can't apply here. It's like you can say the NO, but that's
the no.
The no.
The no.
It was just fun because I went to school at UNO, so it's Uno, but
nice.
But don't draw 4. But yeah, definitely skip you. Reverse it back to Beth. No, I can't think of many other cities where you would just say the blank. Like you would, like you're gonna refer to like Boston like the B.
that is like,
that could work.
That feels less bad than a lot of the ones that we've brought up.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Like for my flight, like I changed planes at DFW, and I was like trying to think of like what's like is there a cooler way to say this than DFW? Like I guess Metroplex, like just having like it feels like a more complex word. But like I don't know, there's a lot of cities that I feel like need like a rebrand in terms of just having like a nickname that can be like shouted out in like hip hop songs.
Taste of the K.
Stadiums.
Whatever.
I mean, yeah, do what you want.
It's
probably
fine. It works out. The H Town.
H Town. I think that counts.
That counts. Okay, H Town for Houston.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm going to brand my town as the H.
Okay.
It's a lowercase h.
Lowercase h.
I mean, it is one.
It counts. I mean, I get it. Hey, I've lived in nothing but cities that have like 2 words as the city name, like New Orleans and San Antonio. Like I can't participate. I mean, Monroe, can you call it the M?
Yes. Monroe is the M.
Monroe is the M.
I would like to see like a smaller town claim a whole letter of the alphabet.
Yeah, I mean the fun row aspect of it, that's like playful. Like maybe a little dripping with sarcasm, fun row, but
Okay, but like it is actually fun row. You have so many water skiing championships.
That's true.
No,
it can't not be fun if you have 27 water skiing championships.
29, but
sorry,
but
I'm sorry.
No, It's fantastic. He can say fun row. The city's fun, but you just got to find it. Like, it's not off of the main roads. Like, you have to know the city a little bit, which is weird because it's a small city.
Fun row, off the beaten path.
Oh yeah, rebrand it.
All right. Well, with that, listener, it is after midnight Eastern, and the show has.
I have one more thing.
Okay. Go ahead.
I stumbled across this online when I was just looking up something completely different, and I just had to share it because it's really incredible. So are you familiar with, I guess it's used as a trivia question now. Do you know what contest, like giveaway type thing, Pepsi was sued over?
No.
This was a long time ago. Like, this wasn't recent. So Pepsi had like Pepsi points, where like you buy Pepsi and you accumulate points, and then like you can redeem them for prizes.
I like vaguely remember this.
Was this a Caps thing? It felt like a Cap thing.
Right. Okay. So Pepsi, like as a joke, they had in their like ad advertising this that you could win a jet with like a certain number of like really like high number of Pepsi points that like they I think it was, I'm looking up now, it was 7 million Pepsi points to win a Harrier jet.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm imagining Charles Entertainment Cheese going, "No, Pepsi, you're flying too close to the sun."
So Pepsi, they did this in like their ad, and then someone actually tried to like they were able to get that many points and tried to actually redeem them for the jet. And Pepsi said like, "Oh no, that was a joke."
I have found the Wikipedia article for this lawsuit, and I'm about to put it in the chat. Please continue.
So they actually went to court over this. Pepsi arguing like, "Hey, like this, like we weren't serious when we had a jet in the commercial saying you could win a jet," and you know this guy saying like, "No, like I want the jet." So if you were a drink brand and you wanted to prove that like you were cooler than Pepsi, that you were like about it, what's something that you could do?
Oh no.
what can you do to let people know like, hey, like Pepsi, like they're a bunch of fakes over there, we're real? That's right, you could give away a jet. So I was on the website for the drink brand Liquid Death, if you're familiar with them.
Oh no.
So because I was looking up a flavor, because like they like had to change the name of a flavor because someone like yelled at them, but on their website like there was like a big banner at the top of the website, like of their homepage, that says like win a real jet. You click on it, like all of the copy is emphasizing like this jet is real. It says it's an L39. I don't really know a lot about jets, but apparently that is a real jet that goes almost 470 miles per hour with nearly 3,800 pounds of thrust. It says it comes with a valid and effective FAA special certification of airworthiness, pilot not included. So
I posted a picture of the L39.
It is produced by a Czech air company. It is it is like a Czech Air Force jet.
So I'm gonna put the link here for the actual like Liquid Death website. So it says what you win the jet, 6 months free hangar space. Okay. So you can store it for 6 months before you have to find a place to put this jet. It also comes with a year supply of Liquid Death, a Liquid Death flight helmet, and a cockpit cup holder, because you're definitely going to want to have a beverage that you would put in a cup holder when you're flying a fighter jet.
The FAQs here are amazing.
So
Is this
top
a
one.
joke? This is 100% real. You don't have to take us to court to get a jet.
It is.
How many entries can I have? You can enter up to 400 times. Each can you buy is an entry. So buy an 8-pack, get 8 entries. Buy a 24-pack, get 24 entries. Max 400 entries per person. Catch me out here buying 400 cans of liquid death.
Honestly, I mean, that I could go through that in a year.
So I have a question for you. I was looking up the L39, and the L39 was produced until 1996, and then they stopped production on it, and then they created a new L39, the L39 NG, which launched in 2023. Which do you think is more likely? That Liquid Death is giving you a new plane, or that Liquid Death is giving you a plane from the Clinton administration?
Liquid Death is 100% giving you a plane from the Clinton administration, because it also notes, is there an alternative cash prize? Yes. If you decide that you don't want your own personal L-39 Aerojet, you have the option to take a briefcase with $250,000 instead. We'll let you keep the helmet and your supply of Liquid Death, though. Feel like a new jet probably costs more than that.
Yes, if you look at the FAQ, or not the FAQ, like the actual like rules, right? It says that the value of the like actual jet, if you go that route, is like $400,000 thousand. So you're leaving money on the table if you go for the cash prize over having your own jet. But I don't know. Maybe like the thing about I don't know anything about like a private jet, but like just having a private plane in general is a huge money sink. Like imagine like the money sink of owning a boat, except like you need to keep it airworthy instead of just like doesn't leak. Like I can't imagine the amount of expense needed to maintain something designed to go that fast, as opposed to just like getting you in the air.
This is also a 2-seater jet, so it's not like you can like take all your friends to whatever college football game you're going to see.
Arthur, what's your rental car?
Audi A6.
Audi A6.
Okay. So you can buy an Audi A6. Your MSRP is starting at $58,100.
Yes,
on this website that I just found where you can buy an L39, I can get you into an L29, which is sort of a sister ship of that, for $62,000. So, like,
okay,
if you're interested in fighter jets, can I interest you in code1aviation.com, and we can get you into something that'll go a wee bit faster.
Pre-owned fighterjets.com.
I mean, like, if I knew how to fly a plane, like, that's got to be something that I'd be interested in.
This conversation does also feel like a good time to remind everybody that in 1989, Pepsi briefly owned the 6th largest navy in the world after trading 17 submarines, a cruiser, a frigate, and a destroyer with the Soviet Union in exchange for a large shipment of Pepsi.
They should have kept those in operation, just like sailing around the world. Like what was that? Like, it was like Teddy Roosevelt or something that just had like a U.S. fleet just like sail around the world and like, yep, it's America. Like,
yeah. Unfortunately, the ships were obsolete and Pepsi sold them to a scrap recycling company, so there is no Pepsi Navy.
They had an opportunity to play the best game of Battleship there's ever been.
I don't know. The game of Battleship they play in the movie Battleship was pretty good.
This is why we only recognize RC Cola on this podcast.
I'm so sad that the Penguins are moving away from RC Cola.
Me too.
Well, with that, folks, it is 12:18 a.m. Eastern, so I think it's bedtime.
I'm still on East Coast time for work, so.
Oh God! Ew.
I have a 5 a.m. meeting.
Gross.
Good night, Arthur. Good night, Commish. Good night, Pitt Girl.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Audi A6.